Welcome to our virtual book club live chat. Glad you can make it. Some of you will undoubtedly bring us some comments and some questions, and we appreciate that. Truly, we do. I'm Reverend R. Ken. This is Unity of Chicago South. We consider ourselves the number one online New Thought streaming community, spiritual community streaming live from Chicago. And we say that because we are a online community, totally online community. And we don't believe it's anything like that streaming live from Chicago. So that's how we get to that point. Thank you for being here, wherever you might be coming in from. We are on all platforms when we go live like this. So we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitch, not Twitter, Twitch, and also LinkedIn and our website too. So again, thank you for being here. I mentioned, I believe it was last week, that we do have other live events coming as the last quarter of the year winds down. And you want to stay tuned for that. We have a class coming up starting in November, I do believe. And then we also have a special for the Christmas holiday. And then going into next year, we are going to have the Burning Bowl. I think maybe the class starts next year in January, which is that's cool, right? Start the year off right with the raising consciousness, and all the work we do leading up to that, of course, is also to raise consciousness. I want to get this situation situated so that we will kind of be on time. You know, we spend about 45 minutes together, 35 to 45 minutes, sometimes a little longer together on these live chats. The reading for today is available from the website. Our website is unityocs.org. Some people have to put the HTTPS :// in front of it. Some people don't. And all in all, this particular scenario that we're dealing with today is one that still very important. I mean, we've had opportunity to do, or we missed opportunities to actually do this virtual, I think twice. We had an audio issue and we had an out-of-town issue and different things like that. So we're finally getting an opportunity to work with it, and hopefully you will see that it is well worth the wait and the importance of it and how it can affect you in such a positive way. Now, for the live chat, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can submit your comments and we will aggregate them and they'll bring them to me. And I will do my best to, address them before the day is over with. So with that said, let's just kind of get started, right? Yeah, why not? Let's just get into it. We don't want to take this precious time and dilly-dally around at all. But before we start, as usual, we'd like to remind ourselves and you that there is an infinite source available to everyone. It's there for each who seek it, no matter their race, their gender, or their religion. You can believe what you may, but you should know that the source of the universe is also the source of each of us. Therefore, the principle supporting the stars is the principle supporting and available for each of us. As I declare this in the first person, I am declaring it for all. I am open and receptive to this divine living principle. Father, Mother, God, I am grateful. This is my declaration. This is my truth. And as I accept it, so it becomes. And all is well, and well indeed. I said, let's get into it. So I say, let's get into it, right? It's time. It's time. Let's bring it up. There we go. So again, welcome to the live chat. And the read for today is from the book, The Great Within, as you can see there. And the chapter that we're dealing with today is Making Your Desire Subconscious. Now, as it indicates on your screen, you can still go over to our website at Metamedia, and get a copy either now or afterwards. You know, you can have a copy of your own. It's a very short read. I think it's like 5 pages, something like that. But it's very, very powerful in what it brings to you and the simplicity that it shares what it does and what it can do. Now, without your consciousness, no matter where you are, if you're here live today or if you see us later, because we do put up our celebrations, our Sunday celebrations on our website at unityocs.org. We thank you for bringing your consciousness to it. And definitely visit our webpage, our website, and you'll find much material that can support your quest for your inner spiritual connection. Now, as I mentioned, we are streaming on just about every platform with the exception of X, I guess that's what they call it. We don't participate there. So you can find us. Usually on Sundays, you will find us on Facebook and YouTube, and also our website. We stream to our website. And when we go live, we add in LinkedIn and Twitch. And as far as Facebook is concerned, we stream out to about 3 different Facebook sites, social platforms. Our own Unity, OCS, mine, RRKen, and then to my associates, Chicago Communicator Facebook site. So we are findable. We are definitely findable. There are some major keys that we want to make sure that we touch on today. And that is that the reading tells us about how to direct the subconscious. Not only. So that means that we probably should have been, we probably are doing it, maybe consciously or unconsciously, but we want to direct it to not only give us the best ideas, not only give us the best plans to carry out those ideas, not only that, the best method in order to institute the plan, but also want to be directing the subconscious to the proper expression of the idea. So, and hopefully we'll have time to get into each one of those points. But each is important. And whatever we may have been doing 2, 3 of these, but have we been doing all 4? And it is when we bring all 4 of them together that we have the max results, the max impact from our subconscious, the max. We all want the max, don't we? Understand that the subconscious is a creative power. And what we're saying here and what the teachers and the practitioners and the writers and the authors in our particular spiritual practice is that the subconscious has the power to bring forth that which does not seem real into reality. That which does not seem attainable into reality. So you might be saying to yourself, well, I'm not sure about that. I mean, there's a lot of things that I wanted, a lot of things that I felt I should have, and I never got them. So how was it that my subconscious didn't bring them to me? I go to church. I do my spiritual practice. I'm a good person. So what happened along the way? And we hope today that as we go through making your desires your subconscious, that will help you uncover maybe some of the steps that you might have missed. Possible. Very possible. First step, desire. First step, desire. You say, well, yeah, that seems pretty simple. But how many times have you wanted something and you didn't get it and you finally say, I'm just going to stop wanting. I've had enough. I've been disappointed. I don't want to go any further. I don't want to hear about my subconscious can change anything. Nah, not what I want. If you do not bring forth the desire for whatever it is you want, overcoming all the setbacks, all the missteps, then you're just kind of wasting your time, because that's the seed that needs to be planted in the subconscious. That desire planted in the subconscious. And when I say that our writers and our teachers write about the creative power and emphasize the creative power of the subconscious, they're implying, they're saying in many cases that the subconscious receives the idea seed and begins to work toward bringing it into reality. So if you do not plant a seed, can you understand there is nothing for the subconscious to grow? You say, well, I got some stuff going on in my life. Well, it's going to grow anything that's there. Now we're talking about what is it that you desire to be the outcome of the work of the subconscious growing whatever is planted there, inadvertently or on purpose. Wow. How about that? Let's check our chat. Oh, excuse me. Our chat line, make sure that we're responding to people if they are responding to us. So we're going to take a look. All right, we'll keep on moving. Harmonize with universal law. That seems simple, right? Well, what is universal law? And if your mind tells you, if your habits tell you, if your spiritual practice or religious practice tells you that universal law is in and out and sometimes this and sometimes that, then it's kind of hard to harmonize, isn't it? What's happening with the law today? How can I harmonize with it? But when you understand that law means that it's consistent, that it's constant, that it may manifest in different forms, but if you examine the form, you will see that the law is working as it should in that form. So this harmonizing, getting more in tune with, and bring that into your practice. It's not about asking for anything. And if you do that, that's fine. But then give yourself a few minutes where you just kind of calm yourself to flow. Just to flow. If you hear something, if you get an answer, that's wonderful. But just take a moment to flow. Just flow. And that will help you begin to become more harmonic with the law of the universe. It takes an effort, but it doesn't take work. Can you dig it? It takes an effort, but it doesn't take work. We want to work to make it happen. The subconscious is doing the work. Our effort is to follow these steps that we learned today. that we hear today, because some of you know all the steps already. I mean, it's like, well, I know them all, but it's instituting them and instituting them on a regular basis so that the law can work the way that you want it to work in your life. The law can work the way I want it to in my life. Yeah. So it's harmonizing with universal law. Universal law is a law of what? Growth, expansion, life. Cycles. Wait a minute. So if I'm in a cycle of less than, there is a cycle of abundance available to me because the universe works in a cycle. That's part of the law. So, well, if it works in cycles, and sometimes that's part of the law. There's lack and abundance on both sides. A desert lacks water. The law is working. How can you say that, bro? There was something that happened that created a lack of water in the desert. That's why it's a desert. There are deserts that were not always deserts. The law is working. So if you are having a desert period in your life and whatever, just know that the abundance is also there. Okay? It's a cycle. It's a cycle. Yes, yes, yes. What are you planting? What thoughts, what ideas, what desires are you planting in the subconscious? The subconscious is like a sponge. You can liken it to a sponge. So if I'm sitting or if I'm listening to negative information, the subconscious doesn't judge it. It doesn't say, oh, wait a minute, stop. That's not good for you. It says, you must want it. My job is to try to find a way for you to get it. That's my job. So understanding that, maybe we can work with a understanding a different relationship with the subconscious, that it wants to serve. That's what it does. And just because I haven't given it the right images, the right impression, the proper focus, it's not the subconscious's fault. Nor, check this, nor is it mine unless I continue to do so after I know. See, when we know better, we have to do better. That doesn't, we're not going to get into that one. We're going to stay on track to the best we can because this is so powerful. The role of visualization. When you visualize, you are giving the subconscious a picture to fulfill. You're giving it a pattern to fill. You're saying this is what it should look like. Now, some people say that they give a pattern and that's exactly how it comes. And I certainly cannot dispute the experiences they've had with their subconscious and universal law. I found it both ways, that it comes as I visualize it, as I see it, and sometimes it comes, but it's not how I saw it. Yeah, it wasn't how I pictured it. But the visualization is important, even if in the past you thought you were visualizing and it didn't happen for you. Even if. Hi, Patricia, glad you're here. Good to see your name and knowing that you are traveling this road with us. So it does work, folks. You see? So put your chat in. Now, we can't take the past and bring it forward and say, well, it didn't happen for me then, so I'm not going to do it again. we should be taking responsibility for it not happening. Now, that's not a beat myself up. That's not what it is at all. It's merely saying, maybe I didn't give it my all. Maybe I took the wrong approach. Maybe I thought that it was going to be a Santa Claus or something on that order. Maybe. And maybe if I look at it differently, maybe if I study, maybe if I change my approach, maybe the manifesting will come. So how do I see what it is that I want? How do I see what it is that I want? Some people in the past have used dream boards, and they put all the things that will inspire them and get them in the right consciousness up on a board, and they look at it daily. And that's a beautiful thing. Let's understand something. The dream board is to stimulate, okay? It's to stimulate the subconscious to get to work, to bring forth what you see. Sometimes we look at the dream board and we think, I'm dreaming that this will happen, and we don't even bring it to our subconscious. We just think it's going to magically appear. The visualization that you see, that vision board that you're looking at, that vision board is to remind you what to plant in the subconscious. Oh, yeah. Yeah, health. Oh, yeah, prosperity. Whatever it might be. Peaceful family. Wonderful house. Whatever. Material or non-material. But the board is to be a reminder of what action you're supposed to take, right? Then the action is you're working with your subconscious, and it wants, it responds to the planting of ideas and thoughts. And so when I see the board, or when you see the board, it's like, oh yeah, let me remember to remind myself of the joy in this particular thing, or the pleasant situation, whatever it might be. That's part of the role of visualization, not just to put it in your head, not just to see it, but to see it and allow it to become part of your subconscious. Hey, how many times have we talked ourselves out of doing the work because it never worked? How many times have we given up because it hasn't happened yet? How many times have we said, I'm afraid that it won't, so I don't? Beyond doubt, I'm afraid. I'm fearful. What kind of fool will I be after putting all this energy in? One of my reverend teachers would say, Emma Luster Lassiter would say, Reverend Lassiter would say, and if you didn't do this, where would you be now? In other words, you're going to spend some time doing something. Why not spend that time doing something that you can appreciate, let us say? Say, wow, I don't have time to do this. That's a way of doubt and fear to express itself. Don't let it. Because why? Remember, we're saying the subconscious is like a sponge. So if you give it doubt and fear, it will produce after the thoughts of doubt and fear. So how do we overcome the doubt and the fear? Recognize it, acknowledge it, and release it. Wow. Recognize it, acknowledge it, and release it. Now, some will say you do affirmations, and that's fine. Some will say you do Affirmations, which is what I do and what some of us do in our practice. Affirmations. And some say they cancel. I would say whatever works for you, but if it's not effective, if you reject the idea but it keeps coming back, then maybe you should try something different. I'm just saying. Maybe you should try something different. But the doubt and the fear will seep in. The looking at negative television and movies will sink in. Being around negative people and negative conversation will sink in. And you come to a point of saying, you know what? I just don't want to be around that. But it has nothing to do with the people. Everybody's doing what they do. But you have to make a decision. I just don't want to be around it because I cannot have this fear and this doubt energized in my life. Now, we have the visualization, right? We have the releasing the fear and the doubt. And now we have to be persistent. And that's what I spoke about when I said the visualization. I see it. I can't just see it. I have to give it a thought. I have to attach a thought to it. I have to bring a thought into, and I have to do it regularly. And that's part of what that vision board really does, is to remind me to think a thought on the thing that I want. Is to remind me to think a thought on the thing that I want. It is not for me to dream. Sometimes we have vision boards and we're just dreaming. It's a dream board. It's not a vision board. Not at all. So once I start this practice of bringing my desires into my subconscious, once I start this, it behooves me to continue. I believe it was Butterworth who said, you have to keep going. I think we had that a couple of Sundays ago, one of his writings. You have to keep it going. You have to keep it going. In the midst of, woe is me, in the midst of, it's not working, in the midst of, you have to keep it going. Because if you understand universal law, where else is there to go? It's scary. Let me just say, it can be very scary. But on the other side, the cycle, it can be very rewarding. Keep that thought. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to go. Keep that thought. And you'll find that other thoughts will follow it that you can embrace and allow to come in to your subconscious that support what you want to do. You have to believe in the process. You have to believe in not, well, maybe, possibly, I don't know, am I worthy? Dude, if the process works, it works. I don't know about it working for me or working for you, but the process works. If I do not know calculus, calculus still works. If I do not know the theory of relativity, it still works. Think of the process like this, like that, brother. It works no matter what. Now, do I want to get aboard and do the work to flow with it? That's the only, I don't know if it works or not. Really? You're going to wait till you know if it works or not to do the work? You may never do the work. Huh? So there has to be faith. Faith means what? It's unseen, right? We have faith in a divine power, many of us. We have faith in a creative power, many of us. So I don't want to wait until I see, oh yeah, they did it, so now I can do it. No, I have faith in this process works. That's what I have faith in. Now, how am I going to adjust my life to get it to work with me? My thinking. I'm going to plant that desire. I'm going to watch my thoughts. When I get fearful, when I have doubt, I'm going to find a way to overcome it. I'm going to pray. I'm going to meditate. I'm going to read some poetry. I'm going to listen to some music. I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get over it. I'm not going to beat myself up for being in that state at that moment. That's how you show. Those are ways that you show faith in the process. Huh? The desire, as we talked about earlier, with that vision board, you incorporate it into your daily life. You don't go a day without attempting to give that thought to your subconscious. You don't go a day without it. Now, but I missed a day, so do I beat myself up? Do I double up? No. My goal is not to go a day without giving that thought to my subconscious. But if I don't give that day, if I miss that day, my subconscious is already working on what I planted. It's already working. So I'm fortifying the seed that I planted, the original seed that I planted. I'm fortifying it with more thoughts, the like thoughts. That's what I'm doing, fortifying it. So if, in fact, it doesn't get fortified this particular day, it's still fortified. It'll get fortified tomorrow or 2 days from now. But because I'm making it a habit, it's going to keep coming at me to do it. Because I'm believing in the process, I have faith in it, it's going to keep coming at me to do it. You see, because I'm changing the way that I think, right? I'm saying I want to give the kind of thoughts that I want to receive. I'm giving the thoughts to my subconscious that I want to receive. We think about treat others as you'd like to be treated. Hey, give to your subconscious what you would like to receive from your subconscious, or by way of your subconscious. We could see it that way too. You have to find a way to get still. Very seldom do I say you have to do this or you have to do that, but you have to find a way to get still. It's important. It's of the paramount of importance. And it doesn't mean I'm going to be still for an hour or a day or whatever. If you can do that, that's fine. But if you can't, a minute. Because you have to start somewhere. And if that grows into a day, hallelujah. But you start. You start where you are with what you have. And so after your prayer, after your spiritual practice, after your yoga, whatever it might be, just find a moment to be still. Not talking to God, not asking God for anything, just being still. Not anticipate hearing anything, just being still. And as you cultivate the ability to do so, you'll find that you'll be able to do it more and more. And you will hear that voice, that little small voice that's within you waiting to talk to you. Yeah, got to do it. You ask your subconscious for the best ideas. I want the best ideas that I can plant back in you. You see, I want the best ideas that I can plant back in you. So I get this wonderful idea for this beautiful project. I say, I think that'll work. Now it's my job to replant it, let us say, into the subconscious, and then to what? Fortify it with regular practice, with regular focus, with faith. I'm fortifying it. If I have to use denials to say, oh, yes, I'm okay, I don't care, I'm great, whatever. If I have to use affirmations, whatever I have to do to work it into becoming a habit in my thinking. And once it becomes a habit in my thinking, in your thinking, it plays itself out. Just like some of the negative habits we have right now. I know you don't have any. I have some. Okay. Now, once I get this idea, some of us like to just run, you know? I got the idea. I'm just gone. I'm gone. Hey, I'm ready. I know what God wants. Wait a minute. I know what the divine wants. I know what the universe is trying to tell me. Really? I'm one of those guilty parties on that one. I've had to learn to slow it down. Wait a minute. Do you have some more to tell me? What am I to learn in this situation? Reverend Celeste uses that. What am I? She teaches that. What am I to do in this situation? I'm sure others do. I'm just sharing those folks that I know. What am I to do? What am I to learn from this situation? Well, how can I prosper? You say, money? No, how can I prosper? How can my life be prosperous? Everybody doesn't want money. Everybody doesn't need money. Prosperity is not just money. How can I change my thoughts to be more prosperous, more understanding? See, I don't want just the idea. I want the plan to carry the idea out, because I know that everything that is needed is there. I think in scripture it has, there knows what you need before you need it. You find that in there. So if something knows what I need before I need it, doesn't it make sense for me to cultivate a more dynamic relationship with it? Especially when I have faith and understand that what I plant in it, it must reproduce. And if it's not, then I'm the farmer. So I'm doing something wrong. The soil is good. Let me revisit what I'm doing. Let me ask, how should I be planting this in you? Has to answer me. Has to answer me. So now I have the plan because I slowed down. I have the idea. I have a plan. Okay. My plan is that every day I will fortify the idea that I have accepted and replanted in the subconscious. Every day. That's my plan. That's the best plan. We've talked, subconscious has said, yeah, you just keep giving it to me and get me strong enough that I can go get it. Now, how am I going to go about it? So what am I to learn? What am I to do? What am I to get from the situation? Because I need a plan. But now that I have the plan, I need to know now how best to carry it out. Well, you need to go to the gym and work out. That's how you need to reinforce the positive thoughts. You need to go pray. That's how you need to reinforce. You need to be out in nature. That's how you need to just be quiet. You see? So that's the method to carry out the plan. But we don't stop there. So often, we stop at that point. Guilty again. Guilty again. That's why I found this reading so powerful, because it says to direct the subconscious to give the proper expression of those ideas and methods. So I don't want to just have an idea from you. I don't want you to just give me an idea. I don't want you just to give me a plan. I don't want you to just give me a method to carry out the plan. I want you to give me the best way for me. You see? Because what's for me is for me. So someone else might be doing this or that and this. But for me, what is the best for me? Because I'm dealing with me when I deal with my subconscious. That's me. That's my subconscious. I'm asking it, how can we have the best life from this point going forward? How can we subconscious say, wow, you finally have some respect for me. I appreciate that. Let's work together. Here's what we need to do. And then you do it. I don't want to make it sound like then you do it as a piece of cake. No, then you do it. It's a challenge, but then you do it. But then you ask the subconscious, how am I supposed to do it? I don't have any money. I don't have this. I don't have that. So how am I supposed to do it? So give me some direction on how to do it. Give me a method on how to execute. Give me a plan. And after you do all that, I'm going to ask you now how to best express that idea that you've given me and how to best carry it out. What path to take. You see, it's a little bit different than what we may have been accustomed to in regard to the subconscious. A little bit. It is our friend. It wants to work with us because that's what it does anyway. And it's saying, I cannot stop producing the thoughts that you give me. So if these things are not what you want, then stop giving me those thoughts. Change them. And if you change them, I will be able to direct you, guide you into what it is you want, like I have been doing all the time. That stuff that you say you don't want anymore, who do you think made a way for you to get it? I'm the same one. I have the same power. I'm just saying, if you want your life to change, bring it to me. I have a wealth of what you need for you to achieve it. Make your desire subconscious. Well, that's poppycock. I don't have to do that. I'm going to work really hard. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Do all of that. And then make your desire subconscious and see which one pays off the quickest. Just saying. Huh? Reverend R. Ken is just saying. This simple lesson, this simple read is so powerful that I strongly suggest that you go get your copy. Go over to unityocs.org and go to the Meta Media page and download your own PDF. So you can read it again and again and say, okay, I got it. I'm ready. I'm ready to take that step toward manifesting, bringing forth, demonstrating, whatever word you want to use, that which I really want. And I'm not mad about all the stuff in the past. I'm working in the mindfulness of right now. Well, we have come to the full circle. We've completed the cycle. This is where we started, and we're back here. And I hope over this last 30, 40 minutes that there's been a kernel that you've been able to grab hold to, and that you'll be able to lift up and take further your own kernel, whatever it may be. Because our ministry is about consciousness lifting. Our ministry is a ministry of practice, spiritual practice. And so if you get one nugget and you're able to change your life, then we're doing what we're supposed to do. And with that said, it's time. It's time to let this go and go into the next phase of my day. This is Reverend R. Ken for the Unity of Chicago South online New Thought spiritual community, saying thank you so much for being here today, and namaste until next time.